Hello, mortals. I know I missed a day, but that's because I had to get my ears cleaned and had some stuff to do that day. But I'm back, so hello. In this video, you'll see me finishing the roof of the house, as well as just finishing up the house in general. I hope you enjoy. If you like, perhaps like the video, and if you want to continue seeing stuff like this, then hope you subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone again. I know that I already covered why I missed a day, because I had to get my ears cleaned and I didn't have time to do anything else. And I didn't do it yesterday because Braden said no, but I'm back again today. Just to finish up what I tried to do. I think it's interesting how this is now part 7. It's a weird thing, like, you usually have like 2 or 3 parts. Nope, this is part 7. Followed by probably another part 8, 9, or 10, depending on what happens. So, whilst I was away, how did everybody's few days go, or weekend, depending on when you see this? I hope it went well. Yeah, I didn't plant much again. I really need to not do that. Don't know how I can fix that issue, but I do need to fix that issue of I do not know what to talk about, so I just sit here in silence. I feel like sit here in silence is something from a song. Not entirely sure though. Oh, I just realized you can hear the audio, can't you? And that thing is not connected. Let's fix that. Better. Now there shouldn't be any audio overlay because I'm very professional at this. Totally. 100%. I'm like the best YouTuber with 300 million subscribers. That is such an unrealistic expectation, or unrealistic goal. I'm still joking, of course. That's, interesting. And here's that little thing I was saying last time about a little area that I thought about leveling up for possibly an enchantment table or something. And I didn't realize it wasn't able to. I didn't have it in the previous video. So I have it here. And this little section is like 9 minutes long, so you're going to get a very, very, what is it called? It's not extreme. You'll see what I mean. Surely. Totally. But yeah, here I am making a little upper platform for whatever I wanted. In my head I wanted an enchantment area, but it really isn't that big for one, so I decided to do that on the little thing below, putting bookshelves there. And then whenever I actually get an enchantment table, putting that there. I think it's funny how with the vibrant visuals, sometimes you can't really see the water. I'm sure I've already said that, but I think that was something that I just didn't do there. And there's where I decided to make a little porch area. Of course I start yawning. Whatever. curious if I should just be reading stuff. Maybe. I don't know. It appears I'm not very good at what I'm trying to do, so... It would be funny if this audio wasn't recorded. I'd have to do this all over again, which would be funny. Painful, but it would be funny. Humor in the pain. I guess I could talk about Jesus. I was saying, I guess I could talk about the weather. It's currently sunny. It's expected to get 70 degrees today, which isn't bad, but it's not fun. Yeah, I plan to put bookshelves there so I can make a little proper area. And originally when building this house, I did actually want to incorporate that little ice thing, as though it was a really cool piece of art. However, with the way I've built it, that never happened. And here I am moving into the house that I've made. Here's a boulder right here. If anyone's just discovering this series and wondering why my cursor is so slow, it's because it's not a cursor. Well, I shouldn't say that. It is technically a cursor, but I'm on a console, so it's not a mouse. So it goes very slow. Feels really weird sitting here in silence. I have an idea. I'm going to go... Actually, no, I'm not going to do that right now. I mean, I could, actually. Yeah, I could. Hold on. I'm going to just do an experiment. I'm gonna pull up a quick nublum. Here I am going to get wood. I don't think I need to explain much of what I'm doing. I'm just finishing up the house, and that's basically the rest of this video. So I have an idea. I'm going to pull up... I enjoy writing, so I'm going to pull up something that I wrote and just read it off. No, I don't care what's new in Word. I don't know. What would be the most appropriate? You know, we'll go here. I'm pulling up something me and someone made back in high school. And it was meant to be like a very morbidly grim, a very dark story. But it's like, it's set in a world of candy. Which is funny because it's a war between gingerbread men and muffin men. So you got the muffins and the gingers, and then you got cupcakes, which are muffins' cousins, which live on wafer towers and milk rivers who just want peace. So I'm just gonna start reading what I first wrote. The front was cold and grim. Sights of limbs and crumbs were scattered across the ground. The ginger men on their side of the front have low morale. Their quest to defeat the muffin men has led them to eternal warfare. Commander Crumb, a dedicated leader with a striking black wafer hat, walks among the line of his sweet soldiers. Today, he says, with his frosting mouth and aggressive voice, we take the town the muffin men hold, the town of Strassenburg. We, gingers, will take this town and move forward and drive out the muffins of this candy land. The men stomp their foot to a steady beat, Commander Crumb steadily walking the line. Today we charge into their hordes and eradicate their sector. We will turn the tide of this war. He pulls out a sharpened candy cane from his back and points it forward. For the gingerbread, he yells, and the wave of cookies with their candy canes out and their wafer armor ready for their own canes raise their fists. It appears I did not do any spelling things. Because right here there's a minute. Commander Crumb waits for a minute, looking to his men to recognize and see who would survive the attack. Then he turns on a heel and points his cane forward. One of the gingers run into the town, making... What? Once the gingers run into the town... What did I write here? I apparently can't read, or can't write. Both of the two things I can't do. Can't speak English half the time, so... Oh yeah. Has it been 9 minutes yet? Oh, it has. Well, I just entirely ignored a cut. That was me just waiting. Anyway. The gingers run into the town, making war cries and shouting as they approach. The town is full of their houses and trapped people. They charge for glory and for their kind. For the gingerbread to come on top of this war to end this conflict. Once at the town gate, they almost forgot what they were fighting. Looming muffin men hidden in the town's first few houses. Once the gingerbread were in, the muffins surrounded them and tried to break their armor. The wafers pulled through enough that the gingerbread stabbed the muffins to death. In death, the muffins rot and mold, and then they decompose and absorb into the ground, regenerating for another day. A few gingers are lost, the gumdrops taken and the bodies broken. Frosting can't help them now. All the rest can do is wait for their own to regenerate. This is the ongoing conflict between the gingerbreads and the muffin men. Commander Crumb, who survived the short-lived attack, led his gingers again. Forward, rid the town of any muffin you see. The ginger do so with minimal casualties. The ones that are broken but not yet dead are taken to a field hospital outside of town. Carried by pots, they are frosted back together and go on to the fray once more. The eyes are replaced with hard candy balls. The gingers and muffins absorb whatever candy they have. Candy canes and other weaponry are an exception to this. None know why. Once, the gingers thought they could stop a wave of muffins with many hard candy balls. The muffins stumbled and fell, but gained more eyes. I can't read for the life of me. So, said a ginger present at the event. Yes, his commanding officer asks. The plan works, sir. That's not the voice. The plan works, sir. The wave is slowed. Good. Tell the soldiers to keep throwing. Problem, sir. What's that? The muffins can see 3 miles off and have full 360-degree vision. The commander only responded with raisin. The muffins' cousins wanted nothing but peace from the start. They were heavily ignored by both gingers and muffins. By both muffins and gingers. The cupcakes had to resort to living on wafer towers and sites in the middle of milk lakes which no faction can cross. The only thing that can cross it is the jock gingers. They are made from cookies that go well with milk. They can cross and stand in the milk rains and river any time. The rest dissolve within minutes, creating horrifying sights for the comrades. And then I have two little sections of how it started, which is not finished, and the tech, which is also not finished. But I'm gonna guess it does some world building. For the tech, because this is the only one that's interesting. The Gingers are only around during the cold years. Their weaponry and armor outperforms the Muffins' strength, but the Muffins outnumber the Gingers 10 to 1. Given their size and strength, Gingers stand no chance alone. That's why they must use wafer armor, candy cane spears and swords, and even gingerbread horses to ride into battle with. I just looked up. That's a wandering trader. That's all I wrote for that world. Me and my friend thought it was really interesting to try and make something really dark and gritty, but also lighthearted because, you know, candy. And I thought about, you know, like milk dissolving both of them because whilst cookies go, or gingerbread goes well with milk, and potentially well with muffins, it dissolves them both in this world. So it's kind of the equivalent to mustard gas. Or there was like, if anybody's seen Indiana Jones, I want to say the first one, it's like that scene where the bad guys open up the Ark and their faces melt off. It's kind of like that, but in cookie form with milk, and potentially less horrifying and more common. That's what I had thought of for the milk rains. And the cupcakes, I don't entirely know how they got into the milk lakes, but they do, and they live there peacefully because that's all they want in this war. They just do not want to engage in any warfare at all, so they just exist. Well, yeah. And the dark cookies are basically Oreos. I thought, hey, Oreos go really well. They're like known for how well they go with milk, so they would be able to cross milk rivers and be able to stand in the rain because they're Oreos. It's literally the only reason why I thought of that. Yeah. Muffin ends are like, you know, those giant store-bought muffins that usually come with 6. That's relatively their size, and the gingerbreads are like ones you'd come with a standard gingerbread house set. So they're pretty small compared to the muffins. But I thought it would be a really interesting world, a really interesting story to write, to try and make something super dark and gritty and grim whilst also being about muffins and gingerbread. I just thought it would be funny. I'm sure someone might pick up that idea. If any writer watches this, which is doubtful. I would love to continue writing that, though. Don't know what I'd do for it, but would love to continue writing it. As well as regeneration, I had planned on, because gingerbread is often associated with Christmas time and the winter and all that sort of stuff. It says the cold months because it reflects our world kind of in a way, where the gingerbread regenerates during, you know, Christmas season. They're able to do whatever they want in that season, and the whole idea of regeneration is just an idea of they can put as much soldiers as they want into the war without thinking of losing actual lives and things. They're still traumatized, horrified by what they witness, but it's not permanent. And then the muffins, they just respawn all the time. It's kind of like TF2, where there's some designated place where the muffins die, and then they go into the earth, and then come back anew sometime later. And I think I would want it to make like a day later, a day afterwards, they come back. Like, if you die within the morning, you'll be back within the next morning. So, I don't know. It's an interesting world thought that I thought of. we had made jokes along the way, like the hard candies was genuinely a joke that we had made, and we thought of making healthy food as swear words. That's why one commander said raisins. I'm not entirely sure what other healthy food I could use as swear words. I think we thought of celery for it. I feel like celery would work really well because swear words are meant to be really harsh, really aggressive, and celery is kind of one of those words. Or at least sounds like it a bit. Apparently. Maybe it could still work. Look at that roof. It's a nice roof. Yeah, there's one of the things I have written in the past that I haven't done because my ADHD says no. Idea I thought of this part. But hey, it was fun. I still think it would be really fun to do. And the wafer armor is basically, like wafer cookies or something. I don't know. I'm sure they're not. Maybe the company's called wafer and that's why they're called that. But I don't know. I don't know much else about the lore. I wanted to figure out how their conflict started, but never got around to that. Oh, but I guess I can do that for future things, rather than just sit here in silence, read off what I have written in the past. Why am I tearing that down? No I don't. Oh, I'm tearing it down to move it, you know. I'm tired. Oh yeah, so it's in the middle of that because that would have bothered me so much. It's a nice sun in the background. I think it's interesting how I want the conflict to basically be, massive, strong things like a horde versus the technologically advanced gingers. It's funny how I just call them gingers, because that's a thing for, I believe it's just redheads. And the popular meme of gingers have no soul. Either way, it would have been an interesting world had I continued to work on it. Would love to, but I just haven't. One thing you'll notice here on the topic of the video is that the sun is bleeding through the roof. You can see that whenever I place those staircases down, that there's light coming from it. So I do fix that in a future video. But if you ever wanted to make a classic roof in the shaders or in the vibrant visuals, sorry, you're gonna have to deal with that, it all bleeding through and making it look cold. At least here for me it looks cold, so I really don't like it. I'm glad I fix it, but really cold looking. It could be because of the white walls, but I'm pretty sure that is just the light along with the cold biome. There's no way it's already afternoon. What? Or is it still the morning? Oh no, my god. The sun's coming up from that direction. It's raising up. No, it's not. Where's the sun? I'm confused. There's a cloud. The sun's behind me. Good job, me. Yeah, you can really see how you can really see that I didn't like that tower. I didn't like the look of it. Or at least I don't like the top of it currently in this video. I believe that's what I go try and change. Do I have any other short writing that I can just spiel with? I'm sure I do. Yeah, here I am trying to, quote unquote, fix the rooftop because it didn't look that well. Here's a poem here that I wrote for a college thing. It's a very interesting poem. We're not interested. It's okay. Quick backstory if I'm to say this poem. I was supposed to make a poem for a class, but I didn't really know what to get inspiration from. So I walked home, and during my walk home, I had a little goldfish packet, and then I realized that, like, a little over halfway through the walk back home, I realized that, hey, I could actually make a poem out of this. And I did so because it felt nice to do so. Felt like I was actually experiencing something during the time where I was eating goldfish during my walk home. So why not? This is goldfish. A step on the sidewalk, a breeze of spring air, the sound of a bag being opened, a few goldfish crackers are taken, and their crunchy cheese flavor kills off the feeling of sweat. A step on the sidewalk, the trees shield the sun in parts, leaving the eyes to a constant shift in the light. The wind moves the hair in the way, making the eating of goldfish more difficult. A step on the sidewalk, the half-swamp lets out its algae scent, subtle but present mixed with the scent of trees. A step on the sidewalk, the heat from the sun makes my clothes warm and my body slow. The warmth combined with the wind makes the temperature pleasant. A step on the sidewalk, the music playing in one ear with a broken earpiece is hardly heard. The sounds of engines and tires running on the road overpower all other noises. A step on the sidewalk, the nature around me disperses as I met again with my apartment, plain, grayish, green, and tall. A step on the stairs, the sound of hiding the crackers away while the cars drive past and their clothes stick to the skin. The walk is over. I am home. Supposedly, that's filled with a whole crap ton of metaphors. But I don't do metaphors. I don't understand half of them. So, I just wrote a poem that I thought was really nice because it had a lot of detail. But apparently during peer review, it had a bunch of metaphors. But I don't know them, so. Oh, and there was me turning down an idea that I had to make, you know, little fencing around the tower to make it look more cylindrical. But I don't think that would have worked. That bothers me now. The way I did that front entrance. I fix it later, of course. But why would you do that, me? I have to suffer through me watching it. Why would you do that? Go fix it. Are you gonna go fix it? No, you're not. Man. He didn't go fix it. Oh well. I'm tired. Who cares where I'm going? I know where I'm going. I know where this eventually leads me. But I'm pretty sure my plan was just to make a strip mine here. But, unfortunately, I believe, you'll have to see that next time. See where that ends up. See what happens. What happens in the cave? Ooh. Well, yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed me rambling about random stuff. If you liked the video, please do leave a like. And if you want to see me continue to ramble about stuff, or just want to mute the audio and watch the Minecraft, uh, perhaps subscribe. So, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later.